morning, traders. Happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesdays. Uh, here we are, bright and early. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Midterm election day. Um, I speak of that just for the sake of trading, because we stick to the trading. With elections comes volatility shortly thereafter, based on history. I was reading an article yesterday, actually. It says since 1922, the stock market, it the 9 months before an election, I guess primary or midterm, the 9 months leading up to it is it only returns about 5%. Basically the market doesn't move. Leading up to it, and that's what we basically been seeing this last couple weeks, last couple months, with the exception of a couple uh, parabolic stocks. But then it says the 9 months or 12 months after an election, the market returns almost triple that amount, which is 14. It was 14%. So to put it in layman's terms, we should see a lot of volatility coming up here soon, as the results come in. Either way, I don't get into the politics. I won't get into the politics, but we will in the trading world. We should see some volatility. Either way, if Democrats take over, if Republicans retain the House, you're gonna see a lot of volatility in the markets. So that's good for us. That's good for traders. But today is the big day. So activity may or may not, go too heavy today as everybody waits for the results. But definitely come tomorrow. It's going to get very fun and interesting. All right, so starting tomorrow, rather. So, anyhow, I'm going to do a quick recap of yesterday's trades. It was a loss yesterday. As you can see here, I was a bit rusty, taking 3-4 days off, and coming back. I definitely was rusty and just made some, trades that just shouldn't probably. Well, two of them actually. Well, one of them rather would have been a big gain if I held it a little longer, but it turned into a loss because I just didn't have the. I didn't hold it. But anyhow, total loss was $98 and some change. It did show up here, but because it's a new day, it just reset. But I did leave the trade window open and the closed profit loss, so you can see that from yesterday. Three trades, one winner, two losers. As you can see, I try to keep the losses small, but even then, in a small account, you really just can't afford many losses at all. That's just the bottom line, because when you have a loss, with commissions on top of it, it adds up very quickly. Even if this is a $10 loss, you got commissions, coming in at around $15 per round trip trade. So two bad trades, you're already down $50. Even if you only lost $10. So anyway, I kept my losses small, as you can see. So I'm in a sense, I'm proud of that. Um, but yeah, I took some ill-advised trades, and then I had one winner. As you can see, the winner is I'm at a 1-to-2 profit loss ratio for yesterday, and that's not good. Not 2-to-1. I'm at a 1-to-2, meaning my winner was half the size of my losers, and that definitely has to change. Uh, but yep, I definitely was a little bit rusty yesterday. I was rusty, I will admit, after being out for 3 or 4 days, coming back. With this market, you got to be sharp at all times, man. Cause hey, the Wall Street and those big wigs, they're always sharp. And if they're not sharp, they have the computers now. The algorithms and all of that good stuff that will stay sharp. So you have to come in the market sharp every single day, man. Cause if you come lacking, oh yeah, they're gonna take your money every time. And that's what happened anyway. I a small loss, so I gotta be a little more careful today. But there's a lot of things moving today. That's the good news. Um, you got NIO, NIO. And don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen, when I make a name for these stocks. I don't know if anybody else does it, but if the symbol, the stock symbol is similar to a name, I usually just give it that name instead of saying the letters out. Like NIO, I'll say NEO, or this one here, Neon, NEON. I just say Neon, to make it easier, quicker. But anywho, you got a couple things moving around this morning. Let me go ahead and take a look. So anyway, I just want to show you guys those trades. Let me go ahead and just do a quick recap of those trades. So I took the first trade, CR. All right, so that's first things first. If you look, which this is not really too late, but I was gonna say, if you look, the fact that I took this trade, near 10 o'clock, that's usually not a good sign. If I don't take a trade in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and especially when it hits after like 10 o'clock, then that's just not good, man. That's usually, in my experience, if I take my first trade very late in the day, that usually is not a good sign. But 9:48 wasn't too late. But anyway, CRNT, I took a trade on it, went short because I knew, based on my analysis of the stock, I knew it was gonna go down. But the thing is, my problem is waiting. You know, waiting for it to go down, especially when it keeps waving up. Waving up instead of, nothing's gonna ever go straight down. But when it starts to kind of get to new highs, and you see this, it waved up. It didn't make new highs. So let me see here. I got in. Let me just give you guys. And that's another thing. I'm getting in. I got in down here 9:48. It was 9:48 a.m. And this candle here. I seen it. Saw it breaking the VWAP, but it was other reasons that I went ahead and shorted it. I knew it was gonna go down, but see, I have a stop loss, and that's what we all should have. So to protect your account. So it got up to my stop loss, and I got out. So I got in at 384, got out. 8 cent loss. I have it set usually at 10 cent, but I got out just a slight bit early. Um, when it got back up to 392. So I got it at 384. It did. Let me see here. Where am I? Yep. So it got up. It got up. Shot me out. But I knew that it was gonna go down. It's some things that I look for, and and that's actually the reason I can say I know is because for the last couple trades that I've been making over the last week or two, almost like 90% of them does what I anticipated to do. It's just obviously the first thing you got to get right is the entry, and the second thing is patience. And both I'm kind of working on because I know where it's gonna go. Now this one, eventually it came up. What's usually happening here is, in my opinion, market makers coming to take people out. Taking shorts out. They know it's making a new high, and just what you see, it's a fake out. It just jumps right over and goes right back down. Like, I mean, seriously, what makes it come all the way up and go over the high and then turn right back around? It's questionable to me, man. I mean, it may be just supply and demand, people buying and selling, but I always had theories on that. But anywho, long story short, I'm not. That's neither here nor there. Um, anyhow, I knew it was gonna go down, but it did. See, it came up. So either way, I would have got out. Even if I didn't get out at 392, I would have got out around this $4 area. When it broke over. So you know, but anyhow, I knew it was gonna go down based on my analysis. I gotta kind of just learn to hold on, or either take smaller size, so therefore I can afford that little swing. I can afford a 20, 30 cent swing. If you only got 100 shares or 200 shares, well, I'll say 100 shares, 30 cent swing is only $30. So $30 loss if it goes 30 cents against you. So I need to start just sizing into a stock. That's another thing I need to worry about doing. But anyhow, as you can see, it did just what I wanted. Eventually, it took a long time, but it wasn't the easy one. This wasn't. This is far from an easy one. It finally went under my 384 entry, and then it actually kept going down from there. But it was an all-day thing. As you can see, it didn't get down until like 2 in the afternoon. So I would have been holding that thing all day. So it really wasn't a good trade, no matter how you look at it. It did what I wanted it to do, but it just wasn't a good trade. On to the next one. USX, another sucky trade that I don't know what I was thinking again. All right, let me see here. Took this trade at a little after 10 o'clock. 10:01 to be exact. And I shorted it. Shorted it here. It did come down. I actually had a lot more profit on it. I had a little more profit. I did get profit on this one. That was this stock right here, the $15 one that I made $15 on. I got in at 7-11. It actually got down to 6.99 or 6.98. I could have took profit then, but I actually was looking for a little more. And of course, it didn't go down any further. But I would have had a 12-cent profit, 12, 13-cent profit if I would have took it at the bottom here. But obviously, it just bottomed out right here, and then it actually I felt the reason I held on is because once it breaks those whole dollar levels are always sticky, you know, very sticky levels, man. Where stocks, they'll just gravitate around those numbers. They don't go too far either way. So when you see a stock break out far from it, then you definitely should jump in it because it's hard to jump away from those levels. But anyhow, yeah, it went up under. It went at 6.99, 6.98. I could have got out, but I was looking for around the low of day, around that 6.80 area. So I was actually anticipating that. I didn't take the profit, but I told myself I'm not going to get out of this trade without any money. So I said if it gets up to like 707, 706, I'm gonna get out, and that's what I did. Actually, I got out at 7:08. It stopped me out at 7:08. A little slippage. So anyway, that was the $15. Stock didn't really do anything all day. It was sideways all day. It did finally go down to 6.90. So as you can see, a lot of these stocks do what I'm anticipating it to do, but it's all day. So anyway, on to the next one. This is gonna be a short video today. I'm just really doing a recap. I got to get tuned into the market. See a lot of action going on and I'm missing out on, or could be missing out on. But anyway, I can't trade until 8 o'clock anyway. If you're an insured trader, you can't use margin rather until 8 o'clock. You can use your own equity, so I take that back. You can trade before 8. But if you want to use equity, if you want to use buying power and margin, you have to wait till 8 o'clock. And then you are able to trade. So anyway, the last trade I made was CNAT. This one, it started to break out, and I was trying a different method. I just was all over the place yesterday. I was taking a different method, which was taking a different strategy, which was buying off of the moving average. Once I seen it, starting to open up and start running, I bought it at 10:30, which was here, like for the bounce off of the moving average here. Oh wait, no, that's wrong. Wait, what time was that? 10:37. 10:37 is when I bought it. All right, so before you can see this candle that took me out immediately, this is what I was seeing at 10:37. So I'm thinking it's gonna bounce off of this moving average here, because it was already showing strength. But I should have, really paid way further attention to see that, it's having trouble here as well. But, it's hard to say that because you can say that here, it was having a little trouble there. You can say it down here, it was having a little trouble here, but it still broke through. So that's my mindset on this trade. I seen the stock breaking out. I saw a stock breaking out, sorry, and, it came down. I tried to get it on the dip here. But as you can see, that was not right because right after that it fell. But thankfully I got out like immediately once I noticed it wasn't bouncing back up. So I got in at 584. I got out at 577. So that's a 7-cent loss with 500 shares, $35. So, I kept it small, kept the loss small, and sure enough, after that, it did go down further and further and further. So thankfully, that's the key. You got to get out of those stocks, man. If it's not doing what you want, get out. So that's the trade recap for yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull up my normal scanner here for you guys. Just wanted to show you that. And here we are. Okay. But yep, you got a couple stocks running today. NIO. Let me go ahead and do another scan. I haven't scanned since we started this presentation, so let me see if some more things may have popped up. CRON here. So basically, the cannabis sector is kind of opening up a little bit. Bear with me as I'm pulling up the another scanner here. Performance problem. Yes, it is. Definitely is a performance problem. This thing is going so slow. But it's I'm not gonna even say I blame think of swim. I blame I need another computer, a better computer. Bottom line. But look at this I've been seeing this for the longest, and I'm sure everybody sees this. This is wow. You have a 290,000 share seller at 748. That's what's showing anyway. That's what's showing for us to see. But yeah, talk about a resistance point on the level 2. This is how you find resistance on a level 2 as opposed to on the chart. You look for large sizes like this, large block orders like this, that'll stand in the way of any further movement up. Now, if that breaks, you definitely know that somebody wants this up. If somebody's or enough people is willing to get 290,000 shares at one price level here, that's usually a good sign. That is going to go up. Well, it's a good sign for longs and bulls, but it's not a good sign for shorters if they do that. But you get the point. Anyway, let me see how the overall market is looking. I'm quite sure it's going to be kind of iffy, choppy today, as you can see, and this is a good example. It's not moving much. Everybody's waiting on the results of tonight. They say later on this evening you'll start getting results. So that'll be after market hours, but you may start to hear, now we got the internet and ways to stay updated way quicker. So you may even start seeing stuff in power hour or a little before that. So kind of maybe want to start trading around that hour. Keep an eye on the markets coming closer to the end of the day. Around that 3 o'clock Eastern time. Just an idea. But as you can see right now, just what I figured it'll do is just gridlock right now. It's indecision, so that's why you see it in a channel, until we get results. Either way, whatever the results are, the market is gonna react. You know what I mean? One way or the other, the market is gonna react, and I can't wait to see it. Let's see what else is moving around. I'm gonna just stay on here about another 10 minutes because I have to get focused here on trading. And I will start later on. I will begin to do. I will begin to do live streaming a little later on. Really, I need to update this computer first, honestly, because as I stream and I have all of this stuff open, the computer is still moving pretty good, but it's just, I'm not gonna. You have to have an edge in this market. You need every advantage you can have, every edge, every bit of advantage, every help you can have in this market. So um, I'll wait till I get that sorted out to start live streaming throughout the day, throughout after the bell, so you can see me live trading. You can see me trade live. Well, actually, sometimes you do see me trade live. You look at some of my older videos, you can see the live trades in the pre-market that I made. but I definitely will be continuing to do so. Just want to see the share size on that. 47 million shares on it. Earnings. All right. Scanner's telling me RGLS is up. I don't know if it's on volume or if it's just there you go. The scanner was in line from under $2 to 264. RGLS. Let's see what else is going on here. I can't trade anything under $3 with margin, so I just keep it moving. But I look at them for you guys. I put it up. Actually, let me put it up for you guys so you guys can see it. But for me, I'm gonna be looking elsewhere. But as a whole, though, the market today is pretty active. I will say, compared to the last couple of days, it's actually a little more movement going on. I'm excited about that. This stock VSEL went up over $1 over hours, after hours. That's one to watch. Another earnings play. Put that on watch. Let's see what else. You got a lot of gappers up, man, this morning. Even, small or large cap, doesn't matter. But the fact is, there's a lot of stuff gapping, and that's what, as a trader, that's what you want to see. You want to see this action, this volatility, this volume to go along with it. That's the perfect recipe for making money and making lots of it. Uh-oh, it's going. This is I'm watching NIO as I'm doing this. I'm just curious to see what happens when I'm quite sure it'll break through it, but I'm curious to see what happens when it hits this 748 if it gets there, because that's a huge size. But again, this stock though has a super huge float, so that's understood to have large sizes like that. This stock has over 1 billion shares in the float, 1 billion. So you can expect for it to have large size orders like that. If you see a lot of these orders going through, you see 2,000. That means somebody. There's some big money in this stock. You really pay attention to this level, this time of sales. You know, 1,000 here, that's $7,000. 2,000 there, that's $14,000. 14 or 50, a little over 14,000, $15,000, and that's all you see is a lot of these chunk orders. So that's telling you, that's how you can, one way you can tell institutional trading and just whales in a stock. When you see those large prints like that, and you see them continuously, not just here and there. With a lot of smaller stocks, you'll see them here and there. You'll see a lot of hundreds, 200, 600, 500, and every now and then you'll see 1,000, 3,000. But here, that's all you're seeing. And this is big money, man. 7,000 shares at 745. That's a lot of money. That's over like $50,000, and you just keep. Now this is 10,000 shares. You see this? So that's when it's a lot of, somebody's very interested in this thing, whether it's whether it's funds, banks, investment banks, Warren Buffett. Somebody big is liking this stuff. You see all of these buys, and it's coming up to that level. And look, it's gonna shoot. Well, that big bid, I mean that big ask, it disappeared. It didn't disappear here because it's not enough here. So it was a fake out. See, that's one thing I don't like about trying to read the level two. It gives you a idea of what's going on, but here you go. We saw this as it happened. you saw all of the big orders coming in, so you pretty much knew this thing was going up. Now, you're starting to see these little, I call them algorithmic plays. It could be normal people like us or retail traders, but you keep seeing these hundreds and 200s now. But leading up to that 750, it was huge size. So that lets you know they want this up. This was actually an easy play to make if you really just jumped in and followed the money without even looking at a chart. You know what I mean? Just seeing the interest, but now you're starting to see, a little bit of red, a little bit of mix. But a little earlier, it was no red. It was like all green, and it was all large orders. But just the fact that they got in at around like 745, that's pretty much a good support level at this point. And that's looking strictly at the level 2 and time of sales. I didn't even have the chart up. I'm gonna put the chart up now. But just looking at that, you can see. And now if you go back and look, you'll see big, big, big value. 100,000 shares in 1 minute, another hundred and some thousand in 1 minute. 3 straight candles with 100,000 shares traded. So I mean, the evidence is there. You gotta look at those things, man, when making your orders and trades. And let me go ahead and pull this up here. Let me see how it was looking on the. So you had a lot of action going on. Let me go ahead and see. As you can see, down here at the 745, it had one of the highest volumes traded within this range. That tells you a lot. As you can see, 745, you had 193,000 shares traded. And let me see, at any other level was it that high? No other level was it that high. As you can see, so that was a big area. 740 was another big area. So you can see these turns into resistance points. You see what I'm saying? So you have to look at all of these things. See, this is what gives yourself an edge. But you can see how I just showed you where 745 was a highly traded area, and we talked about it as it was happening, that it was just super big orders. Now look at the order sizes now. They're coming down. You see, it's selling, but it's selling at way smaller sizes than what was going up. So yes, it's gonna go ebb and flow. It's not gonna go straight up. So you can expect it to drop some and whatever. But overall, based on what I just saw on the time it sells, this stock is gonna go higher. It's gonna go down a little bit. It's just in the market. It's gonna go in waves. Nothing's gonna go straight up forever, and nothing's gonna go straight down forever. Well, sometimes it does go straight, but you get the point. It's gonna go in waves. Um, but yeah, you will see it go down, but you can rest assured that this stock has high interest from big players to go up. That's all you really need to know. So this is one of those stocks at this point. It's a buy and hold. From the level that it is now, it's a buy and hold because the you got to remember what I just said. Is you saw the big seller. I mean, I'm sorry, the big buyers that stepped in at 7:45 earlier, about a couple minutes ago, right? So you got to understand that not all of those are traders. So what I mean by that is you may see those big orders coming in, but they're not selling anytime soon. So you're not gonna see like those orders coming in, then you're gonna see those orders going back out, like another 10,000 going out or whatever you saw earlier going up. You're not gonna see those same trades going back down because a lot of them are putting money into it and just leaving it. So you're not even gonna see them anymore. Now the trading you see it now may be retailers. You see all these small sizes. People saw the action going on and they jumped in. But those whales, they got in and they're holding. Because there was some large size trades that just went down at 7:45, and I'm quite sure a lot of these days were like that as well. But if you just look, it's 38 million shares traded on this one day, 74 million shares traded this day. Even on its lowest days, 8 million shares traded. You see this here? You just look at the volume here, right here, 48 million shares. So it's a lot of interest here. But then if you also look at a chart, it's another way you can look at it or interpret it rather. Um, it's definitely some big players in it. That's that much is for sure. You know, the average person can't afford to buy, $100,000 worth of shares, comfortably, without being worried about their money moving too fast or losing it or whatever. So people putting that much money in it, it's obvious. That should tell you, that's common sense rather, should tell you that, um, it's some big players in this thing, man. When you see big amounts like that, there's big players in this stock. So that's who you want to follow. But anyhow, moving on. Yep. So most of those. Okay, I saw this moving around. SRNE. It's another parabolic. Now this is one I would keep an eye on because it's around my levels. This is the type of stock I like. It's popping up. It has news. I missed most of this move. Wow. I was sitting here doing a recap, and it was after 8 o'clock, too. That's what makes it so bad. I could have got at it after 8 o'clock. But nevertheless, I'll wait. I'll take a look at it for more opportunities, but it definitely fell far off of its highs. It's not just a pullback here. This is a major pullback, but it's still not dead. It's not dead. So I'll come back to that NIO. Let me first see if this is even tradable. Let me see here. Yep, it is. It's shortable and tradable. So now with this stock, you just have to find a proper strategy for it to figure out where is it going, where is it gonna head. You know, you got support here, a little bit of support that it dropped up under. You know what I mean? It's not holding that support too well. It is somewhat holding it, but nah, not majorly. Yep, but as you see, once it went up under that support, it turned into resistance. And once it turns into resistance, what does that tell you? Ah, I could have jumped in there. That would have been a nice one. I'm talking here. That would have been a stock I would have gotten in because I see the support and I see that it turned into resistance. That would have been a perfect time to get in, make a quick 20 cent or so. It's under the moving averages. It's under the VWAP. That was a perfect setup. Uh, but that was in real time. I should have took that trade so you guys could see how it really goes. But I tried to explain it as it was happening, so anybody that's paying attention would have seen that. You know. So for me, if I were to get in short, I would wait for a pop. I'm not. I learned my lesson. I usually if I'm going short, I would get in way here at the bottom, just foolishness, like just chasing it. And then when it's going up, I would have got in about here somewhere. But instead, you're supposed to buy here or either short up here. You know what I mean? And catch it going down. But then a lot of times what happened, why I started to do that is because I missed so many. Because some of them, as you probably see, some stocks just go straight down. Like they don't even give you a chance. It never pops up enough for you to get in. So that's my mindset on those. But as you can see, that doesn't always work. So, but anyway, this stock is on news. I see the daily. The daily. Okay, that's what happened. It was at the 50. See, that's why you have to look at the overall picture. You see what I'm saying? If you didn't see this over here, you probably wouldn't have realized why this thing turned around right here. Well, this is why it turned around. It hit a major resistance level. Now you see it's popping up. That's when I would buy it back in. I would buy back in. It's giving you opportunity here. Now that was supposed to be support. I'm sorry, resistance. But actually, at this point, this is resistance, the 390 area. I see if it breaks over or if it fails. And it's failing. I think I'll grab a little bit here. Grab 300 at 380. I only grab 300 shares, because I need to keep some. If it goes up, I'll grab a little more. It's kind of holding up under all those levels here. It's got a lot going against it. Now it is on news, so that's the only caveat here in my trade. You really never want to go against the news, but just taking a look at it, if it goes up higher, I'll get a little more shares. That's why I only got 300 to allow me to get more. Uh, if it jumps up, well, I'll always try to take this unrealized off. I never like to see it because it affects me trading. Because when I look at it, it just even when it's in the profit, I look at it, and if I see a certain amount of profit, I just take it. I don't even look at the chart anymore, which that's not how you should trade. Yo, where did all these stocks? How did all these stocks pop up on here like that? It's got 103,000 shares traded, so it's pretty active for this time of the morning. It's definitely going to be shorted today. This stock is going to go down. It's going to go up. I already could kind of tell you from my observation of prior stocks, they usually will go up, and then it'll eventually come back down. Try to get out, try to squeeze out all the shorters. It's usually what I call it, what I think is happening, and then it heads the way it wanted to go in the beginning. I said I was only streaming until like 8:15. I'm a little over that. It's 8:23. I'll just let you guys see this trade, and then I will go ahead and close it out once this trade is out. It's gonna go up. I pretty much know that at this point. It's not gonna go straight down. That's just the way it goes. I will expect it to go up, even past a little past $4. I expect that. And if it does, that's when I'll go ahead and buy more. I'll short more. I'll actually short like 600 more shares, so that'll bring the average way up. So actually, I'm actually waiting for it to do that. Popping, dropping. But that's another thing. Splitting HQ2. That's another thing though. Once you're trading a low volume stock like this, or pre-market, it gives way to a lot of manipulation if necessary. I figure like okay, the market makers they have time to see how many people is on either side of it, how many people are on the short side or how many on the long, and then they'll obviously go against that. But everything at this moment is going against it. Looking for it to go down and break down under that 360 area down to the 350s, and that's where to have a little trouble going lower. Stock isn't doing much of anything right now, as you guys can see. That's what happens, when you get in a illiquid stock, a stock that's not very liquid. 100. That's why the gurus and a lot of the experienced traders will tell you, kind of try to stick to stocks with high volume. Over a million shares traded, and you can kind of see why live now. It's gonna move eventually, but it's just time is money. So if you can make the most money in the quickest time, you're the best. You know, time is money. As say this takes all day, like say if it goes till you know, like $80. I mean, like 2 hours, and I make $30. That's $15 an hour. Which, hey, free money, not free money, but easy money is good. But time is money. I just went down to $15 an hour. I'm just making a hypothetical, but I've been in stocks where I've held it for like 2 3 hours, and it only moved like 10 cents, and I made like $50. In 3 hours, that's like $16 an hour. Hey, that's pretty good. That's all right. But in this day trading world, let's be honest, we all. Oh, snap! They actually. Oh, hold on a second. Oh man, you know what? I think I'm in this thing the wrong way. Oh my God! Don't tell me. I think I got in it long. I was trying to get in it short. Yeah, no, I got it the wrong way, man. I'm tripping out, bro. Damn, I thought I got in it short, yo. Oh my God. I if anybody was paying attention to me when I was talking, I wanted to get in it short. Now, yeah, that's a mistake, amateur rookie mistake there. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. What the heck made me think I just realized I see my average cost is 390. I'm like, I thought I got it at 380, for the because it was the bid was 380. But then I had to think about it. Oh no, this is long. Oh my goodness, a rookie mistake. So right now I'm just basically holding to see what happens here. If it lets me get out above four, I definitely this is bad. I didn't mean to do that. I thought I was in it short, but right now it's not moving either way. So if I was short or long, but I'm thinking it's gonna, I wanted to go short. Everything. If you heard me do my analyst earlier, you heard me say everything is looking to the short side. It's under the VWAP, it's under the. I did not anticipate going long. That was a rookie mistake. That's crazy. Well, I'll see what it does here. Freaking, even though I messed up. Hey, on a light side, on a light note, I'll say, anyway, usually the stock does the opposite of what I wanted to do anyway, so that must mean it's gonna go up. I wanted it to go down, so maybe by me doing the opposite just now by accident, maybe it means it's gonna go up, but I doubt it. Gee, I don't know what I was thinking. Yep, but it's okay. I'm just basically at this point I need to get out, but I'm just seeing what it does. If it goes to like 370, I'm getting out. Um, but that's 20-cent loss, man. That's like $60 before commissions if it does that. Or I'm seeing if it'll go up. But right now it's not doing much of anything. I'm short bias on it. That's what I try to get in at, you know. But right now it's a Mexican standoff as they call it. That's no offense to anybody, but when I first started in the market, one of the chat rooms I joined, that's what the moderator would always say when a stock just like sits in one spot. Yeah, it's gonna go the way I wanted it to go now because I'm not in it that way. That's crazy how I did that. How the heck did I get in there long? But anyway, a little action going on though. You got a little bid support building up here, but that's still not much. It's one or two orders to take that out, but it's better than nothing being there. Well, while that's doing what it's doing, let me kind of keep an eye on the overall market for my next play. I made a new rule for myself yesterday after I made 3 trades. I said from now on, I'm 2 trade maximum per day, period. I don't care what's going on, how many trades, whatever, 2 trade max. So this is one of them I'm in now. So I'm only allowed one more trade for myself. What doesn't matter what happens, and I think that'll help as well as far as keeping losses down and keeping profits up. All right, the bid support is left off here. You know, That's the one thing with hotkeys, though. You gotta be aware of where you you know where your hotkeys are. Try to keep them far away from each other, the short and the long. Obviously, keep one on the far left of the keyboard and the others on the far right. But even then, it can happen. But it definitely happened to me today. Hit the wrong hotkey. I knew I wanted to go short, but for some odd reason, I went long. But right now, it's not doing anything either way. So it doesn't matter which way I was in at this point. It's gonna move eventually, but at this point, it doesn't matter if I was in long or short. I wouldn't have. But if I was in where I originally wanted to get in, 380, then I would just have a 1 cent loss right now. Now because now I got in at 390, I don't know what the heck. I'm 15 cents down, so that's the only bad thing at this very moment. Until this thing moves, I'm gonna let it move. If it gets like if it moves down again to like 370, I just gotta get out. There's just no if and a bus about it. But it's definitely leaning towards lower. I'm trying to wait for this trade, guys, before I close out. But it's just it's like watching paint dry again. Just staring at a wall. you know, I mean, it is the only good thing I can say, which really ain't much good to say, is somewhat holding over this EMA here. Not the 1 minute, but the higher time frame. That's the only. I'm trying to find some hope in this. Phone is ringing. 1 second, guys. back. Let me get out of this trade here, because this is actually not. If it gets to 380, I'm getting out, because you know, I'm actually blessed for it to come up, back up this high. It's back above these EMAs. Just so slow. If time was money, man, I'm down to like $5 an hour. That's the reason why people want you to get in those high volume stocks and high volatile stocks, because you make money like this. You know, you make money in 1 minute. You can make, you know, the stock can go up 50 cent. But if you jump in a stock like this, it will move. But if you're playing with a small size like I am, you know, you're only making like freaking, you know, $30, and it took like an hour to make it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. If it hits 380, I'm out. I'm getting out of here. Yeah. So if anybody was here this whole time, I explained that I try to get in this stock short at 380, but I don't know, for some reason I hit the long button. I hit the buy button. So I was just basically just waiting and hoping, hoping that it, you know, went up. But I knew that it was gonna go down. As you can see now, it's a lot of downward pressure. It's playing around here, but it's gonna eventually, I think, go down. But anyhow, I told myself also I make 2 trades a day. So that was one of them. I'm down to one more trade to make. So I got to make that one trade count. All right, I'm out of that trade, guys. So I said I wasn't gonna go past 8:15, but I want you guys to see that trade. But that's what happened. But anyway, I will be back tomorrow, same time, 7:45 a.m. Eastern time. The market's gonna get hot. I know it's gonna get hot after these elections. Whether it doesn't matter what way it goes, but it's for us traders, it's gonna be a lot of things popping here, man. So get ready for it. Get ready for it today. If you like what you're seeing here, liking these live trades, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.